Okay, welcome back to part 2 of this walking talking mock. We were on question 9. This question was also on that last paper. Okay, total volume is less than 900. So I know that x times 3x times 2x is less than 900. So that is 6x cubed is less than 900. So x cubed is less than 900 over 6. 900 over 6, half of 900 is 450, divided by 3 is 150. Okay, now I'm not going to cube root 150 because I don't know what it is. But I do know that the cube root of 125 is 5. So if x cubed is less than 150, oh, hang on, what's the cube root of, oh dear, is it 216? Is 6 cubed 216? Don't make me do a grid method of 36. Times 6, 180, 36, 216, yeah. Okay, so it's definitely going to be less than 6. So if x cubed is less than 150, then clearly x cubed is less than 216. Clearly, right? Therefore, x is definitely less than 6. And x is an integer. And the only integer that's, sorry, that's not true. The next integer that's less than 6 is 5, so it's less than or equal to 5. Okay? So I think that's how I would write it. Okay, y is inversely proportional to x, so y equals k over x. When x is 1.5, y is 36. Work out the value of y when, okay, let me work out k. 36 times 1.5. Okay, when you times something by 1.5, you want to half it and add it on, because that's the 0.5. So half of 36 is 18, add it on is 54. So y equals 54 over x. When x is 6, 54 divided by 6 is 9. Okay, we've got a solid is made by putting a hemisphere on top of a cone. And luckily they've given us the formulae for that. The total height of the solid is 5x. The radius of the base of the cone is x. The radius of the hemisphere is x. Okay, and then we've got a cylinder with the same volume as the solid. The cylinder has a radius of 2x, height of h. All measurements are in centimetres. Find a formula for h in terms of x. Give your answer in its simplest form. Okay. If they have the same volume, I'm going to have to find the volume. So let's do that. Can you see? I'll write it here. Volume of this, I'm going to label it A. I'll label that B. So the volume of A, okay, so it's a hemisphere, so it's half of a sphere. Radius is x, so instead of 4/3, it would be 2/3 pi r cubed. So 2/3 pi x cubed plus the volume of the cone. Okay, be careful here. The height of the cone only goes up to there. So if that height there is going to be x, because it's like a radius of the hemisphere, so that's just going to be 4x. Okay, so the cone will be 1/3 pi r, no, x squared times 4x, which is 2/3 pi x cubed plus 4/3 pi x cubed. Yep. Okay, add them together, I'm going to get 6/3, which is 2. Okay, volume of B. Right, it's a cylinder, so pi r squared times height. So that's 4 pi x squared h. And I know that that has to equal to the other one. So 4 pi x squared h equals 2 pi x cubed. Let's cancel the pi from both sides. Divide both sides by pi, I should say. Let's divide both sides by 2. And let's, hang on, I don't want it to get too messy, so let's just write that down. I can also divide both sides by x squared. That'll just be 1. So 2h equals x. It says write a formula for h in terms of x, so I should make it h equals a half of x. ABCD is a parallelogram. E is the point where the diagonals meet. Prove that AB is congruent to CDE. Good, I like congruency. Okay, obviously I'm going to have 4 bullet points, where the last one is the conclusion. Let's see, ABE. I'm going to ABE and CDE. Go. Okay, right, it's a parallelogram. I know that opposite sides in a parallelogram are equal in length, so I'm going to write AB equals CD because opposite sides in a parallelogram are equal in length. Okay, so that's one side done. Should I go for angles? Yeah, let's go for angles because these two thingies are parallel. Sorry, these two lines are parallel because it's parallelogram, which means I've got some alternate angles going on, which would be there and there are going to be alternate. You can see the Z shape. So let's say BAE equals DCE. Because alternate angles are equal. And then I've got side angle, so I need another angle. I could go for this one and that one because they're alternate, but for some reason I feel like doing these two instead. I don't know why. AEB equals DEC because vertically opposite angles are equal. And then my last bullet point is going to be therefore they are congruent by angle, angle, side. Okay, Mr. Brown gives his class a test. The 10 girls in the class get a mean mark of 70%, 15 boys get a mean mark of 80%. Nick says that because the mean of 70 and 80 is 75, then the mean mark for the whole class in the test is 75%. Nick is not correct. No, he's not. He's stupid. Is the correct mean mark less than or greater than 75%? You must justify your answer. Right. There are more boys than girls. So the boys' marks are going to contribute more to the overall mean because there's more of them. So once you add all of the marks together, 15 of them are going to be boys, 10 of them are going to be girls. So there's going to be more contributions from boys. So you're going to be adding up more 80s than 70s. So once you average that, once you divide it by the number of people, it's definitely going to be closer to 80 than it is to 70. So that's why it's greater than 75%. So I'll write greater than 75% because there are more boys. Show that this thing simplifies to root 13. Okay, so I'm going to expand the brackets. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times root 3 is 4 root 3. Minus root 3 times 4 is minus 4 root 3. Minus root 3 times root 3 is just minus 3. Okay, that and that are obviously going to cancel each other out. 16 take away 3 is 13. 13 over root 13. Now, I know that is going to simplify to root 13, but I'm going to have to rationalise the denominator to do that. So I'm going to times that by root 13 over root 13, which is going to give me 13 root 13 over root 13 times root 13, which is 13. And then I can cancel those two off. So I just get root 13, and I have shown it. Find the value of the cube root of 8 times 10 to the 6. Okay, well, the cube root of 8 is 2. The cube root of 10 to the power of 6, well, if you wrote it like this instead, cube root is like a power of a third. And you know that when you have like a power to a power, you times the powers. So 6 times a third is 2. So that's going to be 10 to the power of 2. The other way of thinking about it is that if you've got 10 to the power of 6, that's 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Cube rooting that would be like dividing the number of zeros by 3, because that's how it works with powers of 10. But, that's the answer, and I guess I could leave it like that, or I could write 200. I'm going to write both just in case, because why not? But I think they want it in standard form because it was kind of given to you in standard form. I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. No, I think 200 is a safer idea. Okay, find the value of 144 to the power of a half. Well, power of a half means square root, so that's just 12. 64 to the minus, is that a minus? Yeah, minus a third. Okay, so minus means 1 over. Power of a third is cube root, so that's 4. 12 times a quarter is 3. Solve 3 to the 2x equals 1 over 81. Okay. How about I do this? 3 to the 2x equals... I know that 81 is a power of 3, isn't it? Is it 3 to the power of 4? Let me think. 3, 9, 27, 81. Yeah, it's 3 to the power of 4. Okay, so let me... That's a 1 over, so I'll make it into a minus power. Okay, so clearly 2x equals minus 4. so x is minus 2. The probability that Sane is late for school tomorrow is 0.05. The probability that Jaden is late for school tomorrow is 0.15. Alfie says that the probability that Sane and Jaden will both be late for school tomorrow is that, because when you times them, you get that. What assumption has Alfie made? I think I mentioned this earlier, maybe in the first part. And in probability means times the probabilities, but only if the two probabilities are independent of each other. If for some reason Sane being late causes Jaden to be late, or affects it in any way, or Sane not being late somehow makes it more likely that Jaden's not late, or somehow makes it more likely that Jaden is late, if they affect each other in any way, then you can't times the probabilities. So he has assumed that the events are independent. Okay, which is not necessarily true, because if they are going along the same kind of roads, if one road is closed, then that will affect both of them, so the probabilities won't be independent. But I don't have to say that, so yeah. He's assuming that events are independent. Solve this quadratic. Give your answer in the form a plus or minus root b. Okay, so clearly I'm going to have to complete the square. Even though, could that factor? No, it's not going to factorize. Okay, let's complete the square. So I know it's going to be, sorry for this dodgy angle, I know that I'm going to halve the minus 6, so I know it's going to be x minus 3 squared. If I expanded that out, which I will just do over here, x squared minus 6x plus 9, I can see that I've got 9, but what I want is minus 8. So I'm going to have to take away, I'm going to have to take away 9, I'm going to have to take another away 8, so is that 17? I'm going to have to take away 17, aren't I? Yeah. So that's the completed square. And that needs to equal 0, because that's what we're trying to solve. This is now in the way. I wish I hadn't written it there. Oh well, let's just write this out again. I'm going to add 17 to both sides. I'm going to square root both sides. And I am definitely not going to forget to put plus or minus. I mean, the clue is in the question. It even says it there. And then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And that's the answer. I'm just going to cut the video here and then continue on in part 3, because, again, I'm worried that this iPad is going to stop working at any moment. So I'll see you in part 3.